Kurvetafjärden to a place called Rätesjöma. The police have just turned up, so the waves breaking on the rocks, filling up half of the frame at the bottom. I've got wet feet again, well, wet legs actually. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. It's the first video of the new year, although I confess this is being shot at the end of December. I've popped out to a place called Kurvetafjärden, otherwise known as Cala del Morro Blanc, which is a cove, bay, whatever you want to call it, just in the north of El Campello, so not far from home. It's only about a 10-minute drive and a few minutes walk. And I'm just having an explore round, just trying to see what I can find compositionally that might work at sunset. The weather forecast today has been all over the place. We were supposed to have clear skies this morning with cloud developing throughout the afternoon and some nice cloud cover forecast, high cloud cover forecast for around sunset. What we actually got was completely grey overcast skies all morning, and the clouds starting to clear now. We're about 2 hours from sunset still. I'm not sure if all of the clouds are going to burn off or if we'll be left with some, I don't know. Not sure what I'm going to find here, but I'm going to carry on exploring and just let you know what I find. Okay, so I've driven just up the road a little bit to a place called Rätesjöma. Now I've been here quite a few times. There's a big hill up here with one of the old 16th century watchtowers on. In fact, a few weeks ago I was right up on the top of the summit, which is kind of up there, taking shots looking down. And I've shot from down here on the lower beach quite a few times, but I've only ever done it at dawn. I've never done it at sunset. Now, when you shoot this in the morning, the sun comes up kind of somewhere between here and sort of out here somewhere, depending on the time of year. Or sometimes it actually comes up behind the hill, in which case there's no point in doing it. And that means you quite often get some quite nice light on the foreground, but this hill is almost always in shadow. And what I'm thinking is shooting this before the sun goes down completely, hopefully with some nice light coming in from behind me, and hitting that hillside, bringing out all the textures, that might work. Now I can see there's a little tent on the beach. Oh, I can't work out which I'm turning. A little tent on the beach up here with some people fishing, but they're really small, and I can probably either avoid them in the composition or just take them out afterwards in Photoshop, because they're going to be really tiny. The idea will be to use like the pebbles on the beach with the waves breaking as the foreground interest, sweeping around, and then probably fit in the entire shape of that hill. And normally when I've shot this, I've just used like the end of the hill just to get the bit with the tower on and maximise the amount of sea that we get, because that's normally where the sun's coming up and where the colour is. I don't know, it's worth having a look. I'm going to have a look along this section of beach here and just see if there's a composition that grabs me. There's definitely some possibilities of a composition along here. As always, when shooting with the sun coming over your shoulder, one of the challenges is going to be keeping my own shadow out of the scene. That's hopefully going to get easier when the sun gets a bit lower. But definitely some possibilities here. I'm going to carry on having a little look around, and I think this is going to be my spot for sunset, or thereabouts. Okay, I'm not sure if this is all going to go horribly wrong. There's a guy just driven down onto the beach in a van, getting a load of fishing gear out. And if his van's parked there, I'm not sure that I can get a composition that's going to work, because the van's going to be in it, and I think it's going to be too big to take out. Now, having said that, the police have just turned up in a police car parked behind him, and they're having a chat with him. So I don't know if they're moving him on or just having a chat or what, I don't know. I'm going to have a little look around and just see if there's a way I can still get the shot if the van's there. If not, I might be going home with nothing, because I don't think I've got time now to go anywhere else. I might be able to still get a shot, but it won't be the one that I wanted. The good news is it looks like the guy in the van is moving. The police have gone, so I think maybe they told him he shouldn't have parked down on the beach. There is parking available further back. So that hopefully means I can still get the shot. I think I'm going to set up soon, because there's quite a lot of cloud over to the west where the sun's setting, and we might lose the light well before sunset. I've got the tripod sort of half in the water, waves are kind of breaking around the legs. That's giving me some water in the foreground, crashing over the rocks, foaming up over the rocks. And then that coastline curves away, and then I've got the hill, the complete hill on the top left-hand third. The sky's not all that interesting. Might end up cropping this a little bit anyway, maybe 5x7. And I'm going to get wet. 16 to 35 lens, 16mm, f11. Focused on the hill. Just waiting for the waves to break. What I'm hoping to get is basically sort of waves breaking on the rocks, filling up half of the frame at the bottom, and the other half of it being rocks leading out, so I kind of get the frame split in two, but in a curving line leading up to the hill. course, typically another fisherman's turned up down there, standing right in the middle of the shot. But fortunately, with a wide angle lens, he's pretty small, so hopefully he won't be too hard to take out in post, because I don't want him in there. It's not that kind of shot. Okay, we've got a bit of pink in the sky up there now over the hill. Not a lot, but a little bit. It's about sunset now, actually. And I'm still just trying to capture waves breaking, and if we get a bit of colour in the sky, that's a bonus. Shooting at f11 and a quarter of a second at the moment. And I think I've got one or two shots that look quite nice. As always, when I'm trying to photograph breaking waves, I just take loads. I mean, you know, I'll maybe take 20 or 30 shots. Just trying to anticipate which wave is going to break the best. Like this one, maybe. I've got wet feet again, well, wet legs actually. Hopefully that pink in the sky will come out a bit as well, and we might end up with a nice image. Okay, so the sun's gone now. The sky hasn't lit up anymore. I don't think it's going to. I'm also soaked pretty much, well, pretty much almost from the waist down by waves. Particularly from the knees down, I'm absolutely drenched. So I've got a bit of an uncomfortable drive back. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget about the subscribe button at the end or the one down below. Unless, of course, you're already a subscriber, in which case you know I appreciate that. Likes and shares are really helpful. And I'd love to hear from you, so comments go down below. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Until the next video, thank you very much. Bye.